The FlexVertex Data Multiverse is built on objects. And while objects are useful on their own, they become supercharged when connected to other objects. As you'll see in this video, understanding connections will help you see how to build an application using the FlexVertex Data Multiverse. Meet Marco. As we'll show you in a moment, he's an interesting guy. In this example, we're building a new application that will keep track of details about people like Marco. Our new system will store lots of information about people. We'll be tracking their friends, interests, and destinations that they've visited. You could store all these details within Marco's record, but this is very brittle. And things can get complicated when our application changes and we need to track some new data category. In fact, this is one of the big drawbacks of how relational databases store information, and why FlexVertex offers such a compelling alternative. Instead of using rigid tables, objects are a much more accurate way of modeling real-world information. They can also adjust much more easily to the inevitable changes that every application faces over time. In this case, we've defined a class called Person, and created Marco as an instance of Person. But an object standing alone isn't terribly interesting, nor is it a good idea to store all this data within a person record like we've done here. Instead, let's look at a better way that uses connections. FlexVertex is built to leverage the power of objects. In this case, we've created objects for destinations, interests, careers, and anything else you need, and then we set up connections between these objects. Assuming you have permission, in FlexVertex any object can connect to any other object. This also means that simply finding one object lets you navigate to every other object, again assuming you have permission. Beyond establishing connections between objects, you're also free to store data within the connections themselves. We'll see examples of this a little later. We define the connections using easily understood labels. If you're trying to make sense of your stored data, FlexVertex makes it easy to start by examining one object and then discovering all the other objects that it's associated with. In this example, we can find Marco by any objects that he's connected to, that are connected to him, or even by the types of relationships that have been established. You can quickly locate any object via our easy-to-understand APIs, or the widely adopted SQL that you may already know. Once you understand connections, you'll see that they're used everywhere in FlexVertex, including creating relationships among objects that store vastly different types of information. Once again, a starting point is all you need to have to find any object in the FlexVertex Data Multiverse. Our collection of informative training videos is extensive and continuously growing with the addition of new content. To stay updated, we recommend subscribing to our channel to receive automatic notifications. Furthermore, for those seeking certification, our videos are an excellent resource to aid in preparation.